Hello and welcome to the Greater Portland Soccer District Over 30 Division I Championship for the fall season. My name is Seth Orensky, joined by Ben Efran. And Ben, we've got a very familiar matchup, only with slightly different team names. It's Away Day, formerly the Toffee Club, who won the championship in the spring against the Army of Darkness, who was the regular season championship during the spring, and had won both meetings in the regular season, but fell 3-1 to the Toffee Club. Well, Army of Darkness is going to try to follow a similar script. They dropped one of the two regular season matchups and tied the other against the newly named Away Days, who lost their sponsor bar, and are going to try to win in the championship game. It's an Away Days team that brings back the majority of their players, although they are missing three key players in Ian Hanna, Scott Douglas, and Harper Taylor, against an Army of Darkness side that it all starts with Captain Carnage, who I didn't remember his name, but I did remember his style of play. The captain standing below us wearing number 10, who was a very impactful player last year, this past summer, who specifically Toffee Club focused on and said how important it was to deny him chances, especially on free kicks. Well, Captain Carnage is the player to watch for the Army of Darkness. For Away Days, they've got quite a few different players who can make an impact, starting with goal scorers Peter Erdahl and Kellen McNamara.
Yeah, over 30 championship game. There should be slide tackling, a little bit younger, more athletic lads out there. And you said it, a lot of familiarity. They've been in championship games against each other. They're both at the top of the table, and look out. Sets up to be a really competitive, hard-fought match.
During the regular season, these two teams actually finished tied for first. It was a tie with 21 points apiece, both teams finishing 6-1-3, 1 point ahead of FC Raja, who actually beats Away Days, their lone loss of the regular season, 3-2 in their regular season finale, but Away Days had already clinched a spot in the final. And it will be Away Days sporting those same colors they sported during the Toffee Club days, with the ball first.
Yeah, pretty Argentina-esque jersey.
And we'll see two teams that are extremely familiar with each other. Group that faced off in the summer and now facing off in the, I say summer, it was the spring championship and the fall championship. They just kind of end in a different season. And we'll see Away Days with the ball first, working against the Army of Darkness, where just given their names that would appear on their driver's licenses, but we'll use the names they provided us. Starts with the keeper. The Hound of Hades is in net for Army of Darkness. Orlando Barrigan is in yellow for Away Days. Rather, I should switch that, is in pink for Away Days. The Hound of Hades in yellow works a little bit better than pink, although I would have thought that maybe he would have just gone white and black to keep with the team colors.
No, he looks like he's ready to go hunting, got the batteries fired up for his goaltending uniform, and ready to go to work.
If you're not familiar with this Army of Darkness team, they've got quite the nicknames, as Army of Darkness quickly into the attacking half, and getting put on his butt there was the Captain of Carnage, swinging it over to Guzzlord the Killer all the way across. Important intervention, and it's cleared back. And, Ben, this is the second time I've had a chance to see them. It's definitely a little bit different than your normal soccer broadcast.
You bet. A lot of fun, though, and
this is Sinister Sick Rick all the way across. High shot just over the bar from Slash.
Slash
couldn't quite put it.
Couldn't cash that one in. Really great delivery and a warning shot. Dangerous. Army of Darkness, they're definitely a quality side, all jokes and names aside.
Yeah, Army of Darkness has a couple key players unavailable as well. Blood and Guts, the Torturer, Maniac Mike, and Chainsaw not available for this contest. I don't know if that sentence has ever been said before.
It's funny enough, there's a Chainsaw on my over 50 team, but I think we're talking about a different guys.
As the team in black, the Army of Darkness, has had the upper hand to this point. That's Hans Eugene battling for the ball, the captain of this away days team, who's got teams at the over 30, over 40 level, and a women's team as well looking to build out. So that one is pushed out of bounds. It'll go back to the team in white and blue.
Bone Crusher, not known for his soft touch. He's smashing up your bones.
During the regular season, I mentioned that these two teams played twice. It was, as I look through my notes, away days won 2-1, and then they tied 1-1, although both of those games were over a month ago, last meeting on November the 5th. Away days looking to boot the ball long. There's two players back, and that is one of the players that I remember from the last meeting. Baba Yaga is a very impressive center back and a player to watch not only in the defensive third, but a player you got to watch for on attacking set pieces.
Erdahl with a nice little turn on the ball, number 10. He's the Peruvian Peter and a Toffee Club original.
He's fighting forward and keeping it alive, pushing forward for Ronnie O'Callahan. And back to Middleton. Middleton all the way across to the near side. Working with it there was Kellen McNamara. Controlled by Garzon. Garzon for Eugene, trying to slide it forward for Erdahl, and back around the mixer. Away days keeping control, looking to slow it down. This is really their first trip into the attacking third with any real time of possession, but they're forced to go all the way back. Slow back pass, and coming off his line wisely is Berrigan, who Hans Eugene admitted it hasn't been the best season for Berrigan, but one of the things he loves about his keeper is he's really calm, and that's important in a championship game, but also when you're under pressure in a situation like that, and dealt with it wisely, as this will fall to the Hound of Hades.
I like the idea to go quick on the throw-in.
Army of Darkness working up the far sideline, looking for Captain Carnage. One of the smaller players on the turf, but he has been, only seen him for about 95 minutes. He's certainly an impact player when the ball falls to his feet. Really deft feet, good vision.
Great defensive play by Travis Griffin.
This one will fall to the feet of Guzzlord the Killer. I don't know how you abbreviate that. Is it just Guzzlord?
Yeah, that works.
Cross into the box, and coming out is Berrigan. Looks like he might spill it, but able to collect in midair.
Good little confidence builder. It's nice when you're playing keeper just to get a catch or two under your belt and get into the game flow.
Both of these teams have a couple substitutes, but not a deep bench with some players out. This will fall to Guzzlord. Looking for options, has Captain Carnage, and instead it's out, and it's going to be out off of Ronnie O'Callahan, who
chased him down and took care of business.
And Ronnie is a player who's not afraid to be a little bit physical. Remember that from the last matchup. Within the rules of the game, but he's going to make people know that he's out there.
There's a lot of big bodies out there on away days. They seem actually to be have a size advantage. I don't know if that's always good or bad in soccer.
Meat Cleat with the strong throw into the box, and O'Callahan
he undercut
upends
him. That was a foul.
I believe that was that Baba Yaga? Still trying to get the names down for Army of Darkness. I should say the nicknames. Here's Meat Cleat. Cross that had too much weight behind it and skips all the way through.
It was a good quick restart.
6 minutes in, and not to take anything away from the over 40 game that we just broadcasted, but the pace in this one has certainly picked up a bit.
Yeah, younger guys, that'll do it for you.
Berrigan off the goal kick, sends it long, looking for O'Callahan, battling there in the air with Doomsky, and it falls to Captain Carnage. Near side looking for Guzzlord the Killer, and he's going to run out of room.
Yeah, just a hair too much venom on that.
Now you're really picking up the Army of Darkness style.
Yeah, well, Bone Crusher, it should have been skulls and vertebrae, but I'll catch on to their theme.
So we get an away days throw. Looking for O'Callahan. Herb Garzon was there as well, and it'll fall to Captain Carnage. Immediately tried an outlet pass. Goes off of an away days player, and the throw will come from Meat Cleat. Only the singular cleat. Here's Carnage trying to hold off Eugene. Good battle, and we're going to see a foul right outside the box. Clearly started outside of the penalty area. And we'll see a free kick. And to no one's surprise, Baba Yaga is going to slide up from his center back spot. I think he's clearly one of the 2 or 3 tallest players. And against a bigger away days team, that's one of their few options where they could actually win a 1v1 battle just based off of their size. It'll be Captain Carnage to take the free kick. This was an area away days specifically said they can't afford to give up a lot of free kicks in their own defensive third. Berrigan with the Army of Darkness player right in front of him. Sent low. Hans Eugene gets a foot on it, and Eugene will get to the second ball as well.
Yeah, good touches.
Cleared out as far as midfield, where it's settled and controlled there by Bone Crusher, who will play it back to the Hound of Hades. So a couple of forays into the attacking third, but not much going in terms of real chances to this point for either side. Army of Darkness working on the far side now. Into the midfield. Good little turn there from Sinister Sick Rick. But his pass too far on the far side for the right back, who I think is toe tag. Still trying to get a number on that right winger, right back. Bouncing around, and we're going to get a foul coming against Slick Rick. Just over 8 minutes into this over 30 Division I championship game here at Gladstone High School. 2 teams finished tied in the regular season with 21 points apiece, both finishing 6-1-3. And they are even here in the early going as it'll be a throw-in for away days. Away days, the defending champs and regular season champs here in the fall. Army of Darkness was the spring regular season champs.
Yeah, it's a heavyweight matchup here.
Ball bouncing around, and that's really just an away days player who threw himself into it's Erdahl.
And Pete that wasn't playing the ball at all.
Hans Eugene, a header that will go into the box, and it's chested down by the Hound of Hades. Calls for a handball, but I think it would have been wiped out by the earlier foul in the box by Peruvian Pete. As the long ball is headed down there by Andy Olaf, one of the center backs. Olaf working alongside Travis Griffin and James Waits in the back for away days, and there's a heavy challenge.
Yeah, off arm extended. That's a foul all day long.
Olaf on the smaller Captain Carnage, who I think is going to be really a player who's going to get consistent pressure on him and a lot of contact. As Captain Carnage will take the free kick here. Scott into the box. No problem for Berrigan, who elects to punch it out despite having time and space, and it won't cost him as Hans Eugene can clear it out. Sent right back in by Doomsky.
Yeah, good touch out of Doomsky.
Good job knocking that one down by the Stinger. The Stinger across for Slash, who is upended, no call.
Yeah, here we are in the tackling league. It's on.
Erdahl swung around, and a good job again by Doomsky. So Waydays had an option on the far wing, but they couldn't get it there.
Necessary touch to break up the counter.
In the middle of the field, working with it is Sinister Sick Rick, trying to find a teammate who made the run. Ball falls to Captain Carnage. Good slide tackle and a second effort. Good work by Waits, the right back, who appears to be hobbling a bit after that. Far side, and that one will go out.
Trying to shake it off, James Waits. Definitely got caught late a little bit there.
Throw in coming for the Army of Darkness. Oh, this is maybe their kind of weather. I don't really know the meaning behind the name Away Days. Maybe you would, as someone who has played with some of their players, even played on their team. But I feel like the Army of Darkness would like a dark gray, ugly day as Captain Carnage is whistled for the foul, pushing into the back of Waits.
Yeah, nice and gloomy, right up the Army of Darkness alley. Away days, I guess I would think of a vacation time outside of Portland Metro and hope it's sunny and warm. But
yeah,
truthfully, I'd love to give a shout out to the sponsor. I don't know what Away Days is.
Well, glad we're on the same page.
Yeah. And I have played on the team. Yeah, Toffee Club was a great soccer bar, and a great sponsor of soccer. It was sad to see their business end.
Yeah, they were the namesake of this Away Days team from 2016 to 2022. Here's Erdahl to the near side for Kellen McNamara, another one of the top scorers.
Oh, what a good find.
All the way to the far side for Garzon, who does a good job of keeping that play alive, trying to get it right back. Fighting for it for O'Callahan out wide and kept alive there by Middleton.
Oh, almost.
But they do whistle that it just went over the line. Still 0-0 here in the 14th minute.
Yeah, no great chances. Feels like we're still kind of in a feeling out period. Two champions. Nobody's going to be trying not to make a mistake early.
The ball is deflected over and a little bit of time for Meat Cleat. On the turf for Sinister Slick Rick. And I'm told that the sponsor is Away Days Brewing.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that's an easy, let's take a sample.
And you got to figure that this would be a nice day to go to a brewery and have a couple pints. Not a lot of things you'd like to do outside of playing a championship game. As Garzon to the near side, able to find McNamara. McNamara battling along the sideline, keeps it in, but cutting it back right to Baba Yaga. And now can Army of Darkness get something going? Into the midfield, Sinister Slick Rick, double team, loses it. And it's handled there for a moment by Middleton, and we've got a foul coming back was Erdahl.
Yeah, you could hear that one from up here. Definitely got his left leg and rub it off and get back at it.
On the restart, they go out wide. Over to toe tag, long ball, and unable to keep the cross in for another goal kick. This seems to be a little bit more of a feeling out period between these two teams. Maybe feeling out isn't even the right word, but a little bit more of a cage match between these two sides. It hasn't been wide open through the first 15 minutes, and these two teams kind of seem to know what the other is going to try to do and have a good idea of how to neutralize those attacking options.
Yeah, a little bit more emphasis on defense. They're kind of dancing around each other and waiting to create the real chance, open the game up.
Away Days did score 40 goals during the regular season, but held to 3 in their 2 matches against Army of Darkness, and Army of Darkness was held to 2. So while these two teams are both capable of scoring goals in bunches, don't expect a ton here in this championship match. It's O'Callahan too much behind that pass, and it'll go out for another throw-in. Is there a little added pressure at this stage when you know the other team as well as these two teams do, having played? I mean, both of these teams have been established at least for the fall and the spring, if not a lot longer. I'm a little bit newer to GPSD, but where you've played against these same players, you probably have some relationships. Hopefully good, maybe bad. But does that make it even tougher than playing a team in a championship game that maybe you've only seen once or twice?
A little bit tougher. I mean, I think there's some bragging rights on the table here. It's kind of like a sibling rivalry a little bit. I mean, GPSD, it's a very friendly environment. A lot of times you get a couple of these teams that will go out for a beer together after a game, but everybody's out here playing to win.
Far side, toe tag given a little bit of space. Space has been hard to come by in this contest as Captain Carnage Immediately going to draw a lot of contact, and I think that's a missed foul on Olaf, who again threw his body into the back of Carnage.
Came like through him, Andy Olaf.
Yeah, it seems like every time Carnage is on the ball, they're going to make him feel it. Here comes Erdahl the other way. Doesn't have numbers. His Army of Darkness does a good job of getting bodies back. Sprays it to the near side. A really nice pass over for McNamara, who's
great
met
first
by
touch.
Baba Yaga. They still have the ball, and now they're trying to send bodies forward. Here's Herb Garzon, a left-footed shot into the back of Slick Rick.
Got plenty of power on that one.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt tomorrow. Slick Rick now looking for passing options, and he's just going to push it backwards here, taking his time. The Stinger with time and space, back for Baba Yaga. Almost 20 minutes in, still scoreless, still looking for our first really good chance of the game.
Yeah, this feeling out period's going to carry on a little longer. Game like this, maybe one goal gets the job done.
Championship game in the summer finished 3-1 in favor of the Toffee Club, now named Away Days. And be interesting to see if we have a game where we'll see 3-4 goals, or if this is a little bit of a lower scoring contest. This ball is loose, and again, both of these teams missing 3 or 4 key players, and that could make an impact as well. I know Scott Douglas scored a goal in the championship game this past summer for Away Days. Blood and Guts sounds like a name I remember. Feels like a name you would remember, right?
That's right.
That's toe tag, and a header that was more of a pass but will end up on target is easily saved off the head of the Stinger. Here's Berrigan, who's probably seen a little bit more of the ball than the Hound of Hades, but really neither goalie has been tested to this point.
He caught that clearance sweetly. It was knuckling and landed at like the 30, 35-yard line.
All the way back to Doomsky, and he'll let his keeper have it. Just feels like this game has been played almost for the majority between the two 30s. As that long ball hits the Hound of Hades in the back, and I think the whistle
off, but
it could be. It also could have been a handball there. It literally hit him on the back, and I think he might have caught his hand rather than his back.
You might be right, because honestly, he looked onside to me. It's just unfortunate when it catches you in the back and doesn't just sneak right around you and set up.
And here's a heavy challenge that does not win the ball. It was close from Slash.
Got in there aggressively.
Just about to hit the 20-minute mark and still scoreless. Still, I mean, it feels like cagey is the right word to this point. I don't think we've seen a shot on target. We've seen
not a good one.
3 to
not
4
one.
Total shots, but haven't had that first grade A chance and another foul in the midfield. We've only really seen 2 to 3 attacking free kicks, and I wouldn't even count this one as a good opportunity, as Garzon will get behind it.
And Garzon hit that shot earlier, right? Big, powerful left foot.
Yeah, unfortunately right into the butt of Sinister Sick Rick. And Garzon a ton behind it, but an easy play for the Hound of Hades, who, as you would expect, just really chummy there and gives Olaf a hug. I think the Hound of Hades might be a little bit less kind to his foes. So we will see a substitution along the near side, and checking in for the first time is Akira El Cruel, which thankfully they provided a little bit of a translation. That is Akira the Cruel.
He's a big boy.
This Army of Darkness team is based off of, well, at least centered around Kandar the Destroyer, who did a little research. Appeared in the video game Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3. video game came out in 2018, so they couldn't have had the name for much longer. Ball bounces wide over to the back post, the hard shot, and it's put in. All alone was toe tag off the cross, and it bounced fortuitously to the back post. And toe tag, the first really good look of the game, puts it in here in the 22nd minute.
Oh, the ball skipped across to him, and he just wheeled that thing right into the morgue. Great finish.
So toe tag really tagged that shot. Very little that Berrigan could have done with it, and it is 1-0 in favor of the team that finished second on goal difference and also on results between these two teams during the regular season, as they lost one and tied one. Well, they only scored one goal in each of those two meetings, and they've got the first goal in this one.
We'll see what that does to the style of play. Opens up the game a little bit. It did feel like it was a game in need of a goal.
Here's McNamara with it. McNamara to the foot of O'Callahan, and McNamara now all the way on the left side of the field, the near right winger making moves.
Yeah, he's pretty poised on the ball.
Erdahl sends a low shot in, that an easy save for the Hound of Hades. I agree. I do think this game needed a goal just to up the intensity for both sides. This is a long boot from the Hound of Hades.
Yeah, and toe tag, you just need to keep your nerve. I mean, here you are, you're unmarked, the ball's falling to your feet, and there's just a tendency to get too excited, but he just got over the ball, knee over the ball, and just drove it near side, right home.
Hans Eugene comes off. James Nolan into the game. Couple of subs for away days and one sub for Army of Darkness. This is a good-looking ball, looking
Very
for Bone
good.
Crusher. Two defenders around him, and it's won back by Travis Griffin.
That's the right idea.
It's interesting, though. It's
Oh.
this one will fall for a slash, right-footed shot, and it's in off the foot of Berrigan. That looked like it almost might go up and over the bar. And two quick goals scored within maybe 2 minutes and 15 seconds, and just like that, it's 2-0.
It was a sloppy giveaway in the back, and they really paid the price for it.
All the pressure on the regular season champs right now as they give up two within 2 minutes. And it is now a 2-0 lead in favor of the Army of Darkness. Now this away days team can score goals, 40 of them in the regular season, but just 3 in the 2 meetings with Army of Darkness, and they're going to feel like that next goal has to come for away days. They're going to come back in this game.
Yeah, exactly right.
Garzon trying to find a teammate. Still Garzon with it for O'Callahan.
Oh,
right
very
back.
nice.
Garzon onside. Left-footed shot. Save from Hound of Hades. Erdahl fights through and he scores.
He sure does. Erdahl showing just Johnny on the spot, and hasn't been afraid to throw his body into the mix.
Well, Peruvian Pete able to respond right back and emphatically puts the ball down at midfield. 2-1. That goal came maybe a minute and a half after the previous goal. 2-1. A good play there by Herb Garzon, who did everything but score, forced the rebound from the Hound of Hades, and it fell nicely for Erdahl, who was able to slip it in, and it's a 2-1 game.
Yeah, the intensity has picked up.
Ball will be headed out. Army of Darkness now doesn't have all the momentum, and they will look to attack. This game was very tactical, very even for the first 17 minutes, very little offense. And now 3 goals in the span of less than 10 minutes, and looking for more is the Army of Darkness.
What a good ball.
And
what a good ball.
Just off the side of the netting. Another great pass from Captain Carnage, and that was Toe Tag, who scored the opener, who is unable to put it on target.
Yeah, great run. The angle just got a little tight for him.
Well, you asked for a goal. How about 3 in quick succession?
It really livened things up. As a neutral, this is turning into a very exciting match.
2 players check on for the Army of Darkness. How about the Nightmare and Meat Hook? making their first appearances of the game. Coming off are the Stinger and Bone Crusher. Not sure if that makes them tougher or not. I mean, I feel like all of these nicknames are pretty darn good. As that's McNamara looking to find Erdahl. And it's knocked down in the midfield. First touch of the game for Meat Hook. And Olaf will come and knock it away. Trying to keep this in is Captain Carnage. Such a smart player. I mean, he is one of the smallest players on the field, but certainly one that every time he's around the ball, he's entertaining to watch.
I mean, they're playing through him. He's quick. He's really competent on the ball. Clearly a big part of their attack.
And right now, Army of Darkness playing with a little bit of possession. Haven't seen a ton of that in this game. Here's the Nightmare looking at his options. Plays it to Captain Carnage.
Very good ball.
For Sick. Rick wants the left-footed shot, and a good job stepping in front there by the defender to deny a look. That would have been a shot from distance, but
these guys have the power. These guys definitely have the technique and the ability to score from deep.
Give Travis Griffin credit for that shot block, and then a great play by McNamara at the turning along the sideline to keep it in. McNamara wanted to get it in quickly and is told you got to wait because there's a substitution for your team. Ryan Nikolai will check on for the first time, and it'll be Olaf, the center back, coming off.
Travis Griffin, if he hasn't already told you, he is a pilot. Travis has had a great couple of first seasons with Toffee away days and always puts in a solid shift whenever he's called upon, and that was just on display.
Wow, I wonder if he specifically schedules himself to not be working on the days that they have games. That's real devotion.
It's when you call flight control and tell them you're sick.
Couldn't make it out for this Sunday, at least for his pilot job.
All right.
29th minute, 2-1. All three goals coming within the span of 10 minutes. Goals from toe tag and slash for Army of Darkness.
Great piece of skill on display there.
The Nightmare over there providing a real challenge for this away days defense. Peter Erdahl evened the game, or not even the game, but got away days on the scoreboard in the 25th minute to get us to this 2-1 score. Already, we've seen Army of Darkness score as many goals against away days as they did in the regular season. And the 3 goals in this contest matches the most in a single game these two teams played this year. But it does feel like we might see a few more goals in this contest, the way that these two offenses have been able to kind of heat up in the last 10 or so minutes. We're still got 15 minutes before halftime. Callahan dishes it back for Middleton. Middleton on the far side, left-footed cross. Easy play for Hound of Hades with no one in the vicinity.
No one is right.
Hound of Hades, a deep ball. Headed down there by Griffin, our resident pilot. How about the Nightmare for Slash? And
very good ball.
Knocked down in a left-footed shot. Couldn't quite get behind it. Was by the Nightmare. Headed up by Captain Carnage. Needs options, and he, as a player, go up and over. He's asking, hey, was there a foul?
Well, he goes down. He may get the whistle there, and staying on his feet and avoiding the contact really did him a disservice.
And Away Days is saying, hey, he upended him. How is that not a foul the other way as James Waits is down? I agree. I thought that it could have been a penalty. Instead, Away Days is challenging for a foul the other way, and it should be out for a corner.
Jumped over him in a way. I mean,
and came down on his back.
Yeah.
Captain Carnage is waiting to take this corner kick. Waits is still down. And appears to be okay. As he pleads his case. Let's see what Carnage can do here. To the back of the 6 and getting a head on it, but pushing it wide with Baba Yaga.
Good positional play out of Austin. One namer on Away Days.
I have a last name. It's Austin Colmanero. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Maybe Colmanero, but He's able to pull that from the roster. We can go with Austin, though. I think everybody will know who we're talking about.
Yeah.
Number 12 in the colors you typically associate with Argentina. I like the stripes.
Yeah, me too. Oh, the Rabona.
Looking for Callahan there. Couldn't quite find him, and Baba Yaga will push it wide for his counterpart.
Would have been a long through ball Rabona, but he got good wood on it.
Certainly a lot of skill between these two teams. Doom Sky, a little bit of pressure there from Callahan, and that forces him to boot it out. 33rd minute in a 2-1 game. Army of Darkness scored the first 2 goals. Away Day countered with the goal just a minute and a half after the second. All 3 goals coming midway through the half, and it is 2-1 here in the over 30 Division I championship of the fall Greater Portland Soccer District season. 2 teams facing off for the second time here in the calendar year, as Toffee Club, the former name of Away Days, pulled off the victory in the spring season 3-1 in a bit of an upset, as there's a good slide tackle and James Waite's able to keep it alive. Ball loose in the midfield, and Callahan bounces off one player, then pushes off another, still battling, and he's going to draw the foul.
Great physical play out of Callahan, not afraid to mix it up and really got right in there.
And Meat Hook is issued the first yellow card of the game. They're going to say a little bit of a extended elbow there coming against Ronnie O'Callahan. Callahan, a player who, well, they say he loves to get his foot in as much as he loves a pirouette on the ball. I would say he loves the physicality.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, more like a shoulder.
I do love the last line of the description. Taught Michael Flatley everything he knows. His ball was looking there for McNamara, and eventually it's out for an Army of Darkness throw. He's definitely got pretty good feet for a guy who's a little bit bigger.
Yes, it's a great combination.
Waiting for the throw in here from Doom Sky.
You know, 2 goals. Away Days got punched in the mouth, and they've responded quite well.
Yeah, O'Callahan will fling that one in. An easy play for the Hound of Hades. Probably more of a cross than a shot, but either way, dealt with by the keeper. Slash will head that one on, and Berrigan's going to have just an easy of a play. Does feel like after a frenetic 5 to 6 minute period that all 3 goals happened in, this game has slowed down a little bit. Both defenses have kind of solidified, especially Away Days. They were a little bit all over the place. The first goal allowed was off a cross where toe tag was wide open at the back post. And then the second one, a bad giveaway where Slash was able to score one-on-one for the keeper. They have not given up any huge chances since. On the throw in this time, it'll be Meat Cleats.
Oh, big throw.
Slash heading it on, looking for Captain Carnage, and an important foot in there by what I believe was Griffin. Nope, that'll be Middleton. Herb Garzon looking for options. Erdahl calling for it. Instead, the long ball for O'Callahan was trying to play it back for Middleton. Just couldn't get the touch there. Sinister Sick Rick able to dish it off for Meat Hook and out wide for Toe Tag. That one is tipped up. Berrigan a long run. Will he get there? Yes. Denies the potential corner and then rockets one over the head of his defender.
And he could have picked that up. It was not an intentional pass. It came off the Away Days defender's foot, but not an intentional pass. He's got more time.
Bouncing around at the top of the box. Settled, and a hard shot by Sick Rick, and a good job diving in front to help out his keeper there. Pushed forward for Erdahl. Erdahl with a lot of players in his face, trying to find O'Callahan. Picked up by Captain Carnage, lost it for a moment, but Sick Rick is there to intervene. Under 10 to go before halftime. Still a 2-1 game in favor of the Army of Darkness. Sick Rick. Back for Meat Cleat. Meat Cleat looking for the run of Captain Carnage, who has a player running into his back. That was Travis Griffin.
It just doesn't seem like Captain Carnage's skill set to be as much of a hold-up player. He needs the ball at his feet or in space.
Yeah, it feels like aerial duels are just not going to be his forte.
Correct.
So that ball is flipped forward looking for Erdahl, and an easy intervention for Doomsky. Out wide. Connects with the Nightmare. The Nightmare 1v1. We've seen him some really good footwork earlier trying to get the cross, and it's into the side of the netting on the outside for another goal kick.
Yeah, he looks dangerous with the ball at his feet. I think he took a little too much time and lost his angle to get a good ball in, but look for the Nightmare to create.
Just over the head of O'Callahan. Baba Yaga is right behind him and able to head it forward, but the second ball falls to away days. Garzon, a nice job to keep it alive for Middleton.
Kind of an unintentional great dummy.
Yeah. We'll get a throw in right around midfield, but first a substitution as the Stinger is ready to check back on.
Yeah, Herb Garzon, he's Mr. Weathermatic. He loves nutmeg, and he loves nutmegs, and actually kind of right on cue. He wasn't really a nutmeg, but played the ball through his own legs as a dummy. Someone to do his running and people bouncing off of him. Has a brilliant eye for the pass. It's been a cornerstone of the midfield.
Bouncing around, O'Callahan gets a foot in there, but it will go the other way. Captain Carnage gets ahead on it, looking for Akira El Cruel. Hasn't had a ton of touches. Akira for Captain Carnage, trying to play it forward for Slash, and will go out for a Army of Darkness throw. Just shy of the 40-minute mark here in the first half.
Oh,
on the throw-in, finds the foot of Captain Carnage, who couldn't bring it with him. And another easy pick for Orlando Berrigan.
He dropped it in the breadbasket like a nice NFL quarterback throw.
Berrigan has been trying to go long consistently, but Army of Darkness has gotten to most of those long balls. And Berrigan now with a little bit of pressure from Slash and able to get it over for a teammate. Middleton up the line.
Oops.
And unable to keep it in there was, I think that's Austin Colmanero. Here is the Nightmare. Looking for Slash, and a good touch by Colmanero. Forward for O'Callahan, who consistently has to go backwards.
This game has ebbed and flowed, and it feels like it's back in the momentum for Army of Darkness.
Yeah, O'Callahan whistled for the foul there. Heavy challenge on the far side. He drew a yellow card, and you came in very heavy there. So we'll see Captain Carnage behind the ball. This doesn't seem like a great spot for an attacking free kick, but we'll see what the Army of Darkness can make of it.
Yeah, Meat Cleat kind of walking up the back end there.
Seems like Slash and Baba Yaga are their two best aerial options, but Baba Yaga stays back for this one. Captain Carnage into the box. Berrigan calling for it, and with very little traffic around him, easily able to collect.
Yeah, it was a can of corn.
Long ball right to the chest of O'Callahan. They're calling for handball. They won't get it.
Oh, subtle on the ball.
Erdahl is tripped up, and he doesn't get the call either. So both teams a little bit upset by a lack of a call. And that's a good way of settling it right there. Fighting for it and able to win the throw-in is Akira El Cruel.
O'Callahan's deceptively deft on the ball there.
Yeah,
guy.
He's got good feet.
Got good feet, soft touch.
He and Herb Garzon are both a little bit bigger guys, but I've been impressed with their touch.
Apparently we're supposed to expect some dancing, shirts off, and some serious competitive juggling if away days is to lift the cup.
I'm assuming if Army of Darkness wins, we're going to hear some heavy metal and maybe see some pitchforks.
Blood sacrifice.
42nd minute, all the way across to toe tag. Right back who scored the opening goal in this one after being left all alone. And toe tag's ball goes through a couple of players all the way back to Berrigan, who's probably had a bit more of the ball here in this half than he would like. Hasn't been challenged all that often. Really, very little he could have done on either of the two goals. Did get a foot on the second one, but it was 1v1 with him and Slash, and the shot went off his foot and into the goal. But it's just been a lot of traffic going right to left in this first half. I wouldn't say it's been dominant in favor of Army of Darkness, but certainly they've accrued a little bit more time in the attacking third and maybe some shots. As Colmanero, not a foul throw because he didn't really have the ball when he lost it. That probably saved him.
Exactly.
Near side, long run for Akira El Curl. He has it. Has a couple options. Will slide it into the middle and looking for Captain Carnage. Potential foul right at the edge of the box. And Carnage keeps it alive. And now we will see a whistle and an offside on Captain Carnage. I thought they might be bringing that back for advantage. There was a heavy challenge right on the edge of the box.
A little late. Good acceleration out of Captain Carnage actually to save that from the end line and create half a chance.
Yeah, I think he's one of those guys who will not leave the field unless there's some kind of injury. Off the restart, long ball across midfield. McNamara wins the second ball ahead for O'Callahan, looking for Erdahl, 1v1 with Doomsky. Out of trouble for the moment. Captain Carnage fighting against the much bigger player, and hey, didn't have to head the ball to win the throw in there. Captain Carnage being a little bit of a nuisance, and we'll see a throw and go the other way now as we're under a minute and a half away from the end of the 45. Still could see a few minutes added on as we've had 3 goals here. Stoppage time does exist in the GPSD. Baba Yaga, good ball across, really finding the nightmare, and just out of the reach of Slash. I like that Slash has dollar signs for S's. Adds to it for me for some reason.
It's on the score sheet. Put those dollar signs on the score sheet.
Long ball looking for Erdahl and snuffed out easily. Here's the Hound of Hades with a little bit of pressure from Garzon.
Yeah, we've been calling his name less. It's been not exactly one-way traffic, but Army of Darkness is controlling play a little bit.
Yeah, and it's not as if either goalie's had to face a ton of shots. I mean, I think we've seen maybe 4 to 5 total shots on goal, 3 of them in. Here's O'Callahan, couldn't quite handle it. And coming across is the left back, Meatcleat, to clear it up. But certainly more of the action has come in the defensive half for
But you'll notice
away
Darkness
days.
is not putting a lot of numbers forward here.
And the midfield. Here's a shot from distance that goes off several away day players and eventually picked up. That was the Nightmare who really tucked in from that right wing position.
As much as their name implies they're always going in for the kill, I almost feel like the Darkness is content taking this 2-1 lead into halftime.
Maybe they're learning from all these movies where it's good versus evil.
Right.
Here's McNamara. Again, an appeal for a handball. They're not going to get it. It's the Army of Darkness. Had an earlier call waved off. Here's Garzon. Long ball looking for Middleton. Who crosses it back for McNamara, and Baba Yaga able to clear it away.
McNamara, a new addition out of the highly lauded front office staff at away days to get him to ink the contract and put on the blue stripes, and he's making a difference.
That clearance went out of the stadium, off a car, back off the fence, and is now across the street. So we're going to need to track that ball down as it slowly, well, it just passed my car, and now it's heading towards the gutter.
Yeah.
Here comes Erdahl on the throw for McNamara. Good turn and crosses it, but no one is there, and an easy catch for the Hound of Hades. And that will do it for the first half. A slow first 15 to 20, and then 3 goals within 10 minutes, and then a little bit more of that feeling out period. Then it just feels like this game, while exciting, hasn't really gotten completely rolling.
No, I'm looking forward to the second half, and the gloves are really going to come off Oh, be certain that away days is going to leave it on the field. That'll open things up, and we'll see a few goals. We'll just have to wait and see what direction they're in.
We're going to take an audio break, and we'll be back in about 7 to 8 minutes as it is Army of Darkness 2, Away Days 1 at the break. Welcome back to Gladstone High School here in Gladstone, Oregon for the over 30 Division I Greater Portland Soccer District Championship game. It's 2-1 at the break in favor of Army of Darkness over away days. And my name is Seth Orensky, joined by Ben Efran. Ben, it really didn't feel like there was a lot of fluidity to this game. We had pretty slow first 17 minutes, 3 goals within 6 or 7 minutes, and then again kind of an ebb, like an awkward final 10 to 15. What do you anticipate happening in the final 45 between two teams that know each other really well and two teams with everything on the line?
Well, I think the feeling out period's over, and our away days is going to need to leave it on the field. I don't think they really need to panic or change their strategy too much in the next 20 some odd minutes, but if this scoreline stays the same, they're going to need to commit some numbers forward, and it's bound to get exciting.
Goal scorers in that first half. Toe tag opened the scoring for Army of Darkness, left all alone at the back post. Then it was Slash off of a turnover to make it 2-0 minutes later. And then maybe 90 seconds after the second Army of Darkness goal, away days made it 2-1. It was Herb Garzon forcing a save from the Hound of Hades, and following it up, Peter Erdahl able to sneak a shot inside the near post. The teams will switch sides. Army of Darkness in the black and white, go figure, going from left to right. And away days in the white and blue striped kits that they're famous for, going from right to left. Remember, two teams finished tied in the regular season, although the away days won the first matchup, tied the second one. So they were the number 1 seed here in the championship game, and they are the home team on the scoreboard. They also won the spring championship as the underdog. They had lost both regular season matchups with the Army of Darkness, but won the title 3-1. So Army of Darkness looking to get a little bit of a revenge for that one and win their first title of the 2023 calendar year, as we are creeping towards 2024, but still tons of time left in this game and of soccer here in the calendar year, as this is Sick Rick with a nice little move to create some space, but eventually it's thwarted, and Garzon forward for O'Callahan. One of the things that I've noticed in this matchup versus the one that we broadcasted in the summer is away days is using less substitutes. I think some of their attacking power unavailable. Scott Douglas, Ian Hanna, and Harper Taylor all missing, and according to the scouting report we were given, big misses. There are 4 players unavailable for the Army of Darkness: Blood and Guts, the Torturer, Maniac Mike, and Chainsaw, but we didn't get as much information of their roles on the team. O'Callahan will push it back, and then right back towards him. He wasn't expecting the pass, and it's Sick Rick with it. It will just float into space, and right now we're just playing a little bit of hot potato as James Nolan will play it back for his keeper, Berrigan. Away days, 40 goals during the regular season, but just 3 of them coming against this Army of Darkness team, as the flag had gone up long before Kellen McNamara put that in the back of the cage.
Yeah, nice step on the back line. Meat Cleaver and his co-workers.
Yeah, I've been impressed by the communication and work. Baba Yaga, Meat Cleat, Doomsky, and Toe Tag, the traditional back 4 of this Army of Darkness team. Very normal group of 4 players. And I'm saying that very sarcastically because...
Look at this.
Long ball, slowed down. Baba Yaga, though, gives it right back for McNamara. Looking for O'Callahan, long run. Ronnie able to slide tackle, keep it alive. Had it for a moment, and eventually it's picked up by Meat Cleat. But those 4 have worked really well together as Slash gets a foot on it. And we've seen probably more bodies coming forward for away days, but a little bit more success for Army of Darkness in creating some chances. Neither team has dominated chances. Possession probably slightly in favor of Army of Darkness.
No, there haven't been a lot of chances in this game. Both back lines have shut them down.
Here's Toe Tag. Through ball was looking for the run of the Nightmare.
The Nightmare looks like one of the more dangerous players on the ball.
Yeah. came off the bench and has really provided some pressure here on the wing. Guzzlord the Killer started the first half, came off probably midway through the half, and is now back on the field, and he's the target of this throw-in. Just over him, and Berrigan another pickup. Can't think of a big save by either keeper in this game. And it's not that they've played poorly. It's just that outside of the 3 shots on target where the keepers had very little chance. In fact, the best save came by the Hound of Hades on Garzon, but the rebound fell right to Erdahl as we see an inadvertent elbow to the face there of O'Callahan.
It looks like he got a poke in the eye.
The Hound of Hades made that save, and then it fell to Erdahl, and he scored. I think that's probably the best save that I can think of in this game, one of the few memorable ones. As we're going to check on O'Callahan.
Yeah, and that was essential for Away Day's chances that Peruvian Pete was Johnny on the spot and really able to crash the net and be the first to the ball to put it home.
Yeah, you figure if they didn't score on that opportunity, it was 2-0 right now, things would be, I'm not going to say dire for Away Days, but they'd be feeling a lot more pressure as O'Callahan's going to trot off, and they'll replace him at least for the moment. Hans Eugene, the captain, will check on. Hopefully O'Callahan is okay because he's been a key target player as he's holding the eye, a little bit of the head and the nose, so
yeah,
hopefully just seeing stars for a moment and it's nothing more serious. Last thing you want to get in one of these games is any kind of major injury, concussion, broken bone, torn hamstring, something like that that can impact not only your soccer but also your day-to-day life. As this is
the captain got stepped on there, Hans.
McNamara tries to slide it through. He had 2 players in the vicinity, but Yaga had it.
Like Willis Reed, he hobbles up there to keep the play alive. It's Hans that keeps this rabble of reprobates going. And despite talk of moving to over 40 league, here he is battling it out with the youngsters on Championship Sunday.
Yeah, definitely the leader of this team. As we have a player go down. It's not Hans Eugene, who's still hobbling a little bit. Did not see this contact, but a second Away Days player goes down in a matter of minutes. I think at this time of year, you have to call him Hans Eugene or Eugene, only because when I get to December, the only Hans that I recognize is Hans Gruber. It's die-hard time, as we'll see. Getting up off the turf is James Waits, who's made a couple of important defensive plays. And I think Waits is going to need a sub, and it'll be Ryan Nikolai back onto the field. So 2 quick injuries here in the opening 6 to 7 minutes, and Away Days is going to have to show off a little bit of that depth.
Here comes Nikolai. He was nicknamed the Harry Kane, H-A-I-R-Y.
I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I don't know either.
I'm wondering if he's a Tottenham supporter, or maybe he's a Bayern Munich supporter at this point. As it's going to be controlled here by toe tag off the restart. So they left the ball with Army of Darkness after checking on the Away Days player. 51-50 into this contest. 2-1, all 3 goals coming within a 7 or 8 minute span of the first half. Hans Eugene with the slide tackle didn't get the ball, but gets some help from his teammates. Garzon on the counterattack. They had McNamara loose. Instead, they go to Erdahl. Erdahl 1v1 against the defender. Step overs. A second defender comes over. Wisely gives it up, but just a bit too heavy. Skips up off of the foot there of Middleton and goes back the other way.
Yeah, just a little behind him.
And good defending there by Doomsky just to slow up Erdahl.
I've been impressed with Garzon. That left foot, he's really picking players out.
Here comes the Nightmare. Not 1, not 2, but 3 defenders on him. He'll leave it off for toe tag up the sideline looking for Carnage. Olaf will be there first, and he's not going to take any chances. He'll clear that one out for a throw.
Yeah, you've got Captain Carnage breathing down your neck. And the safe play is when in doubt, put it out. Did it creep over the line? No, not quite a corner. There was an appeal.
Throwing along the near side, it's Slash. A back heel flick would have been gorgeous, but just too heavy. And actually, they're going to say that it's out for a corner, so worked out. I think Slash was upset because he thought that he might have lost that opportunity. We're going to see the corner kick taken by Sinister Sick Rick. Takes it quickly, and that one, I think the last touch, well, I thought it was going to be off of Guzzler the Killer, but it actually goes off of Hans Eugene, stays in the attacking third. Captain Carnage into the box, swings it in, knocked down. Here's the ball with the stinger, back for Carnage, and a rare missed touch there from Captain Carnage, and it'll be out for an away day's throw after they faced a little bit of sustained pressure.
Yeah, uncharacteristic lack of focus.
Right back into the attacking third. Fighting for it there is the toe tag, and he'll win a throw. The Nightmare gets it in quickly for Sinister Sick Rick. Pressured heavily. Sick Rick, though, kind of the opposite to Garzon. Both of them really good in the midfield, and it's out for a corner kick.
Nice ball in by the Nightmare. It's got some wheels.
We deal with a B in the press box. A little bit unseasonably for December, but hey, yeah, just enjoying some soccer as the hard cross by Sick Rick is headed away by Olaf.
Yeah, it's a B. You set him free. Yellow jacket. Sometimes I'll just give him a squish.
And it'll go out for a corner kick. 56 minutes in, it continues to be 2-1 in favor of Army of Darkness after 2 goals in the opening 22-23 minutes, and both of those goals coming within 3 to 4 minutes of each other. Goals from Toe Tag and Slash. Peter Erdahl answered back with the goal in the 25th minute, but Away Days is yet to really be able to pressure the Hound of Hades and maybe make it look like they're capable of scoring that equalizer. We certainly know they're capable of scoring goals in bunches, 40 during the regular season, but to this point they've been stymied in this championship game as Army of Darkness looks to get a little bit of revenge for that spring championship game in which the Toffee Club came in as the heavy underdogs and earned a 3-1 victory. Baba Yaga for Captain Carnage, who impressively flicks it on, but there were no players in the vicinity. Slash gives chase, and Olaf will have to boot it forward, but only player there is Toe Tag for Sinister Sick Rick, looking to find the Nightmare. Good step from Olaf, but he gives it right back. Ball forward. Slash recognized he was either offside or making the wrong run. He puts his hand up in apologies. And it falls to Berrigan. Had another spell of 10 to 12 minutes where, as we've got an offside here on Erdahl, neither team has been able to sustain pressure. Neither team has been able to create a lot of chances. It's almost as if you've got two defensive-minded head coaches who are really focused on certain things. But this is an interesting substitution. They're going to bring off 2 of their better defensive players, Army of Darkness will. And we're going to see El Carnicero and Slaughterhouse for the first time alongside Baba Yaga. But I would have said 2 of the 3 most important players in this game to this point for Army of Darkness were Meat Cleat and Doomsky, the 2 players playing next to Baba Yaga, and they're going to take off 2 of their back 3.
And just as you're talking about the defensive identity that this game is taking on for Darkness.
And that is why these teams hopefully know each other better than we do. It's McNamara looking to push forward. Sinister Sick Rick on him. Lots of contact, and I'm not surprised there's a call there. It wasn't heavy, but just enough of the arm that I think the referee probably was going to call it to begin with, and then McNamara maybe made a little bit more of it than there was.
Yeah, there's a hand on the shoulder for much of that, but I think easily that one could have been let play on. And here comes some more subs.
Yeah, we're going to see Christopher Plesser-Morrissey in for the first time, and Ronnie O'Callahan, who left with that eye injury, he's back in. Alongside, I think Ryan Nikolai was already on the field, so he was just going to get some water. So 2 subs for either side.
Yeah, Plesser-Maurice is a target forward, known for having the best hair in the league.
Here comes Erdahl, and too much behind it, just underneath the crossbar. Couldn't take advantage of it.
Bit ambitious.
So we're nearing the 60-minute mark. And the Hound of Hades will take this goal kick. It's not as if this has been a bad game in any way. It's been tight. It's been tense. Just hasn't been the offensive display we've seen in some of the other championship games over the years as the long ball is snuffed out. And we'll see what Plesser Morrissey can do here as he's another player playing up top alongside McNamara, alongside Erdahl as McNamara takes another spill. Again from Sinister Sick Rick, kind of earning that reputation, or earning his nickname, I should say.
Yeah.
And another chance. Here's Garzon, and you got to figure this is a pass spot rather than looking for his own shot.
I think so, but he's going to deliver a nice in-swinger.
Here's Garzon towards the edge of the 6, batted around. I think O'Callahan got a piece of it. And Hound of Hades not taking any chances. Will collect before it goes out for a potential goal kick. Hound of Hades will release the Nightmare on the near side. It's got to be a nightmare having to see this guy dribbling towards you. Captain Carnage taken down, and he's looking for a call. And the head ref, I love it. He looks to the AR and says, "Did you see something?" So there was contact between Nikolai and Captain Carnage. The ref does not give it.
Yeah, the bench is not happy either.
And it'll go out. It'll go back to Army of Darkness, but that would have been a foul just outside the box. It would not have been a penalty. Probably wouldn't have been a red card. Yellow, if anything. But
well, it's a tough one to bring down, but it does look like there clearly was some contact.
And again, smaller player against a bigger player. Sometimes it looks worse than it is. Not saying the Captain Carnage was going down easily. So we will see a throw-in on the far side for Away Days, who right now the pressure is on the defending champs, down 2-1. And this is an adjustment in shape, Ben. 2 up top while keeping in some wingers. They are sacrificing some of their defensive shape, but do you think it makes sense with kind of how much they've struggled to get consistent chances to maybe make that shift earlier rather than waiting until the 70th, 75th minute?
I think that's exactly right. You don't want to play with desperation. You just need to turn a couple knobs and put a couple people forward and change your approach and see if you can harvest some fruit from it.
O'Callahan, who's dropped back a little bit, he kind of started the game up top, but now is in the midfield. Came all the way back to help out his teammate Travis Griffin, and he knocks that one out for a throw.
Yeah, he's really got on the ball and been a difference in possession, and now you're putting Plesser Maurice up top. So I like the changes for Away Days.
Be another throw in here for Army of Darkness, but first a substitution. Nathan Evans is ready to check on. Haven't seen Evans today. And Garzon was thinking the sub was for him, and it's not. A little bit of miscommunication between 2 Away Days players, and let's see. I believe this is either Griffin or Middleton, one of the defensive players who's going to come off slowly. Really haven't seen that many subs in this game, and we'll see Nathan Evans check in as there's some communication.
Yeah, he took a knock on the quad, it looks, and you don't want to see Garzon come off. I mean, he's team notes say he's got a couple goals, candidates for goal of the year, and you see that big left foot. He's been pretty calm on the ball, and if they're going to get back into this thing, they're going to need his services.
It's Ryan Middleton who came off, and it's interesting, James Nolan, who we haven't talked a lot about in this game, but Nolan is the one that's giving instructions from the sideline. There's always got to be one. I mean, we talked about it. It's not really a coach, but there's always someone who's kind of takes that leadership role, and it's Nolan who's kind of shouting out instructions as players come on, as they say that throw-in was taken a little bit too far up the pitch.
Yeah, Peruvian Pete bought off an extra 5 or so yards. There's a little bit of an overcorrection on the spot here for the refereeing team.
Throw-in will come back all the way to midfield. I would agree there as it's headed on. Plesser Morrissey The nice touch to chest it down for Erdahl into the middle. And Plesser Morrissey was a player who played a bigger role in that championship game. Really, from what I remember in the summer, it was Plesser Morrissey alongside McNamara and Douglas, three-headed monster up top alongside Garzon. But clearly a slightly different role. And at this point, even in the over 30 role league, you never know quite how fit players are if they're coming off of injury, stuff like that. So might be why Plesser Morrissey had to wait to come on until about the 60th minute. Nathan Evans just into the game. First time that he's been on top of the ball, working against two defenders. Does he win the goal kick? He does not, despite his pleas.
Oh, I thought he had a pretty good case.
65th minute, and waiting to check back on is Meathook. Remember, Meathook is on a yellow card. He was battling with O'Callahan, an interesting, sinister, sick Rick, who I would say has been one of the better players today for the Army of Darkness. Playing an important role in the midfield. Comes off, we'll see for how long, and Hound of Hades is taking his time there, and instead of him getting a yellow, it's going to be issued to Kellen McNamara for dissent. So, time wasting already a point of contention for away days, and there's still 25 minutes plus. I don't think as a keeper you're thinking about time wasting this early in the game, right?
I don't think so. Every second, but probably not.
Ball loose in the midfield and slid across for toe tag. Right back with the goal in this one. Great diving effort and a good sliding tackle from Olaf to prevent that pass from getting to its intended recipient. Toe tag looking for options, able to find Guzzlord the Killer, sliding all the way over from left to right. Gets help from the Nightmare. Ball falls to Olaf, who will float it out, but only as far as the foot of an Army of Darkness player, and eventually out for an away day's throw. Here's O'Callahan in the midfield.
He's got great feet for a big guy.
Ahead for Plesser Morrissey. More and more bodies going forward, but that errant pass is knocked down by one of the new defenders. I believe that was Slaughterhouse, number 30. Remember, a pair of subs for Army of Darkness happening at the same time. They switched two of their three backs. Baba Yaga has been an ever-present member of that back line alongside Toe Tag, but they brought in El Carnicero and Slaughterhouse to try to keep this defensive strength. Baba Yaga, the header, down for the stinger, and Garzon able to win it in the midfield.
Yeah, coming on with a ton of responsibility as far as holding on to this one-goal lead.
Ball pushed forward for Plesser Morrissey, right at the edge of the 18, being pressured there, and it's kept alive. Plesser Morrissey cross, ball loose and put in. It's Austin Colmanero able to tie it at 2-2.
Wow.
And just like that, Plesser Morrissey, the super sub, able to tiptoe the sideline, kept it alive, and Colmanero all alone, pretty similar to the first goal in terms of how open the player was to tie this game at 2-2 here in the 67th minute.
We saw that in the World Cup. I think Japan had a goal like that. There has to be daylight between the end line and the ball, and if any part of that stayed on the end line, it was in play, and the referee was right on it, best vantage point in the house, and way to just keep up the intensity, and here we go. Wipe the slate clean. It's new game, 2-2.
Immediately, both teams will make some substitutions. James Waits is back into the game after being injured. First time we've seen El Pelidor, the Skinner, for Army of Darkness, and Toe Tag comes off, replaced by Doomsky. So immediately a substitution, in fact, two substitutions in the back as they bring off, it's either El Carnicero or Slaughterhouse. It's El Carnicero and Toe Tag both taken off, and the two back player, the right back and right winger are changed with Doomsky back into the game and El Pelidor into the game for the first time. So just like that, 2-2. And we've got a foul as the player's, probably the top of the foot was stepped on.
He got it right around where Meat Cleat had been holding down the fort. We did talk about that storyline, and that's where the goal came from.
And it kind of felt like the second half needed a goal. Not that it wouldn't have been fun to watch Army of Darkness hold on for a 2-1 win, but it does feel like all of a sudden the energy in this game is picked up. And now we're going to have to play for that fifth goal of the contest. Baba Yaga into the box, headed in. It's an own goal.
Oh.
Olaf, a stunning finish. Unfortunately for him, it's in his own net. And Baba Yaga to Olaf makes it 3-2. They're asking for offside. I don't think you can give offside.
Doesn't matter if it's your own guy.
Yeah, I mean, Olaf off the underside of the bar and in, and that's one of those goals that would show up in a highlight reel for a phenomenal own goal. It's a tremendous finish, unfortunately facing the wrong direction.
Just trying to clear it, and
again,
disastrous.
For the second time today, when we see goals in this game, they come in quick succession. It was 1-0 and 2-0 in a blink of an eye for Army of Darkness. 2-1 maybe 2 minutes later. In this case, we saw the go-ahead goal, or the game-tying goal in the 67th. That goal came in the 69th. So just like that, Army of Darkness able to retake the lead in the oddest of fashions. A free kick from distance that probably doesn't result in a goal all that often, but Olaf got his head to it, and unfortunately his high header went just off the underside of the bar, and there's nothing Berrigan could have done about that.
No, really unfortunate, really unlucky, and here we go. The stage is set for the final 20 minutes.
If that's on the opposite side of the field, that's one of the better goals that you could possibly see today.
Absolutely.
Instead, Olaf's teammates are going to need to pick him up. As we hit the clock has just gone into the 70 minutes. And still plenty of time for away days, but they find themselves trailing for the second time today. Came back from 2-0 to tie it at 2-2. They're going to need more from their attackers like this man, Plesser Morrissey, who just was able to get that pass across thanks to a butt cheek. Not necessarily how he drew it up.
It seemed like it was going to be obstruction because he blocked the path and wasn't playing the ball, but got away with it.
Waits, pushed off the ball by Slash, and now it's over to Captain Carnage. Surprisingly, he hasn't been as involved in the goal scoring. He's helped set up the first goal, but not the second or third. As Plesser Morrissey runs into a defender, and the call goes against the Army of Darkness.
Good hold-up play, and that's a nice little quick free kick.
Yeah, looking for Colmanero, who just scored that game-tying goal. He runs into El Pelador, who goes down, and will get an attacking throw-in.
Yeah, he leveled the Skinner.
Throw-in from a dangerous spot, and we'll see who comes over with the ball. First, they've got to get the ball. And it's Colmanero for Evans just into the game. Evans all the way out for Waits. Waits looking to put a ball into the mixture, and it's an easy catch for the Hound of Hades. 3-2, and I don't know about you, Ben, but it does feel like this game is just ramped up after those two goals. As here's a back pass. Hound of Hades lost his footing, gets up in time, and seems like this game has kind of jumped from about a 80% intensity to 120.
Yeah, wow. Hound of Hades put his foot through that one.
And push back for Berrigan. Both of these keepers have pretty strong boots. As here's Olaf looking for options all the way out wide for McNamara, and a good step by Slaughterhouse to deny McNamara, who had the assist.
It was an unlucky break, but you kind of wonder what Olaf was really trying to do with that. I mean, was he just pushing it up and over the back line and conceding a corner? And that was the intent of the touch. It just came off a little too hot and low.
Bone Crusher back on. Slash, who scored the second of the 3 goals for Army of Darkness, will take a seat at least for the moment. 3-2 in favor of Army of Darkness after we saw away days tie the game in the 57th, and then less than 2 minutes later, an own goal by away days gave the Army of Darkness the 3-2 advantage. And this is one of the worst places to put the ball because Away Days is going to have to track it all the way into the top row of the stands. And there's a fan over there who is cold and wet and not moving.
Yeah, there's a dry side of the stadium, but maybe he likes his privacy.
Pressure.
Although the rain has really let up for most of this match. I mean, I'm sure the field's still wet, but it's reasonably bearable conditions.
Here's McNamara and loses it to Baba Yaga. It does feel like all of a sudden Away Days has picked up their intensity. It certainly helps that they've added players going forward. McNamara on the throw, looking for options. Plesser Morrissey has certainly made an impact, set up that second goal, and it's just created some opportunities. Here's Caminero, who had the assist, or not had the assist, who actually scored that second goal off a beautiful feed from Plesser Morrissey. Attempted cross by Griffin is knocked out off the back of a defender. 74 minutes, but it feels like Away Days is pressuring as if they need a goal much sooner than that. Here's Erdahl, who has not been as involved here in the second half. Scored the goal in the first half, and Erdahl will lift the ball into the box. Caminero is there, but getting his head on it first is Doomsky. And a shot from the near side. That was Plesser Morrissey right into the foot of a defender.
And he got over that. That was not going to sail over the bar.
Ball is loose, and Captain Carnage comes out of a pile of players, and it will go out for a throw for Army of Darkness. 75th minute, and we'll see a sub shortly. So Away Days has James Nolan ready to go. Up the sideline. Bone Crusher working there on the sideline, and he's offside. Nolan will replace Garzon. I think that's going to be Garzon needing a quick spell because, again, we've talked him up all game. Garzon has some really deft passing.
Yeah, good vision, nice feet, and you really can get through the ball. It's a lot of power.
I mean, whether you're chasing a goal or whether you're protecting a lead, either way, Garzon's good passing is something you'd want to have on the field. So we'll see how long he's off. It's still 75 and a half, so we've got almost 15 minutes left of the 90 plus some stoppage time. And again, we saw 2 goals here in the second half, a couple substitutions. I'm sure we'll have at least the standard 2 minutes, if not a little bit longer. They're going to have to try to keep these on schedule. And we just saw a penalty kick shootout in the previous game, the over 40 D1 championship, as Comanero draws the foul. So they might not add every single second, but they're going to try to give these players as much time as possible to really decide the contest. O'Callahan was behind the ball. He'll give it up. And it will be James Waits on the free kick. Lots of players forward here. Lots of options on both sides of the box. Yeah, runners all over the place.
Just about everybody.
Waits floats it in, and just over the head of Evans. Hound of Hades couldn't make the catch. Ball bounces out, long run, and it will be out for an Away Days throw-in.
Yeah, just a little lower, and all Evans needs is just a glancing touch. Put that one in.
Nolan for Morrissey. Captain Carnage able to knock it down, and it will go out for another Away Days throw. And that spectator is going to be
look at that,
helping out, lending a helping hand here for James Waits. So we're into the 78th minute now. 3-2, 3 goals in quick succession in the first half. Saw the Army of Darkness go into halftime leading 2-1. Away Days tied it 2-2. And then it was an own goal about a minute and a half later as we see Olaf too physical there and results in, I think, El Pelidor ending up down in his own box after maybe a little bit of an elbow into the back.
Yeah, he caught him exposed.
And another yellow card for dissent. It'll be Chris Plesser Morrissey. Second yellow card of the game against Away Days, and both have been for disagreement with the ref. Remember, Meat Hook was whistled in the first half for a yellow. This refereeing crew has had to keep busy. Probably a little bit harder the the younger the players are, just in terms of keeping up with the pace and physicality of the game. Here's Captain Carnage through two players. Captain Carnage, right-footed shot, took a deflection, and he's able to make the save, is Berrigan.
Yeah, good little flash out of Carnage.
Probably the best chance that he's had to actually shoot today. I feel like he's had to serve as the playmaker far more than actually looking for his own shot.
Yeah, he's been more of a facilitator, is right.
And now we'll see Army of Darkness with a couple of back-to-back throws. And not surprising, McNamara is going to be the one who's most eager to get the ball back in play. Army of Darkness here as we're almost into the final 10. Not rushing too much. On the throw-in, Nolan gets his foot in first, floats it out. Chested down by Plesser Morrissey, out for McNamara. To the near side, looking for the run of Colmanero, but it's knocked down. Working with it is Griffin, all the way back to the keeper, Berrigan. Little bit of pressure. Someone's got some fresh legs for the Army of Darkness. Give credit to Bone Crusher, just preventing Away Days from easily pushing this ball upfield.
Yeah, leaving it on the field.
Griffin up the sideline, but there was no one making that run. Baba Yaga will elect to play this, just chips it over Erdahl. Forward, all the way back, and we're back where we started.
Yeah, Darkness is definitely getting behind the ball. They're not exactly parking the bus here, but I think they're content to try to keep the scoreline where it is.
Here's the captain spraying it forward, but not on the same wavelength that time with Bone Crusher. And Berrigan will come out of his box to pick it up as we hit the 80-minute mark. 10 minutes plus stoppage left, and it is Away Days, the defending champs, searching for another game-tying goal. Came back from 2-0, now looking to come back from a 3-2 deficit. McNamara for Erdahl, shot from distance and floats it wide.
Not that far off.
Stays at 3-2. And see how long Hound of Hades takes on some of these free kicks over the next 10 minutes. He's got a yellow card to waste. Not taking too much time here. Boots it long on the near side, and it's headed out for an Army of Darkness throw. On the throw-in, looking for Captain Carnage. Instead goes the other way. High elbow. And they're going to say it's actually against the Away Days player who took the elbow. That was Plesser Morris. He was already on a yellow card. Looked like he got caught in the face, but the ref blows the whistle against it.
Yeah, tough one to see. It'll be interesting to hear about that call in the referee room. I guess he's initiating the contact. He needs a sub. Doesn't think he can see so well.
Yeah, Plesser Morrissey, who's been an impact sub, and again, didn't come on until the 60th minute, had a big assist, and he's going to have to ask off as he looks at the referee, and I think he's just going to see his second yellow, which would be a red.
Oh.
They're going to give him a second yellow and a red. They're not going to be able to make the substitution. As Plesser Morrissey, he said something. He pointed to his face. He's definitely bleeding. You can see him coming over to the AR right now, but called for dissent earlier in the half.
Oh. That really hurts your team.
And Plesser Morrissey is done. And
is he bleeding?
Well, he was showing the referee something on his jersey. I'm not going to be able to tell from this distance and this angle, but
yeah, I don't see any blood on the jersey, but it's probably there.
So a really impactful play that I'm not going to say one way or another whether it was the right call because I didn't see it fully, but it not only results in a free kick the other way, it also results in a red card. So Away Days down a goal and down a man, not able to make the to replace Plesser Morrissey, was already coming off injured, and that's so tough because Plesser Morrissey was on his way off the field. They were going to make the change, and then Plesser Morrissey continuing to plead his case with the referee, and Plesser Morrissey has to leave the complex because of the red card.
So feels a little harsh, but you know what? I don't know what he said.
And now a foul the other way as Bone Crusher apparently too physical. It does feel harsh, and it feels really unfortunate if you're away days because Husker Marcy can just get to the sideline and not say that last thing.
Yeah.
You're at least 11v11. Now it becomes an even more uphill battle, down a goal, down a man. It's Baba Yaga able to sky and win that ball. Yaga working up the sideline, loses it, and it's Evans with it.
I think he was on a little bit shorter leash. Who knows what he said the first time, but this referee is not taking any of that mess.
Well, and that's 3 yellows for away days, all for dissent. None of it has been a particular foul, as here comes Army of Darkness looking for a fourth, and that's just out of the reach of Captain Carnage. A huge intervention by Travis Griffin, who that ball rolls another yard or two. Captain Carnage might have run past it.
At first it looked like a little bit of a foolish, overly wishful ball, and then Carnage just kept kind of making up the ground. And it was a whisper away from being on.
It's going to be a corner kick here in the 85th minute for Army of Darkness, who don't necessarily need a fourth goal, but it would certainly make life a little bit easier. We'll see how aggressive they are here. Just the 4 bodies around the box, and it's into the 6. Olaf, the only player there, and a shot that is knocked down by O'Callahan, and then a shot that is skied well wide by Meathook, and out for a goal kick. Still 5.5 minutes left in regulation, plus you got to assume that we're looking at closer to 4 minutes now of stoppage after the injuries and the second yellow. 2 substitutions. It's Slash and Meat Cleat back in, so we're seeing more of the original starting defenders back in. That was a like-for-like sub, though, so they're not adding players in the back, Army of Darkness. They've just gone back to their original starters, with the exception of Totag is still out and El Pelador in.
It's on the ground. Maybe they've got a chance to put a couple big bodies up front.
McNamara.
And Olaf seems likely to win another header, just this time on the right side of the field.
Yeah, unfortunately, the difference right now is Olaf's own goal header. This is McNamara, a lot behind it. Keeper forced to pop it up, and we're going to get a foul. Nolan was very tight to the keeper, and 99 times out of 100, you're going to give the keeper a little bit of extra benefit of doubt. On the lawn ball, Colmanero able to knock it down. Nolan just knocks it towards the top of the 18. The ball bounces back. Away Days has played much better since conceding that third goal. And this one is skied with no one in the vicinity, and it'll be out for a goal kick. Into the 87th minute now. And Army of Darkness wins themselves a throw.
Yeah, up a goal, up a man. It's going to take something special out of away days.
And a big thing to remember, in fact, something that we have not mentioned, is if this game were to be tied, if away days can find an equalizer, is there's a player down for Army of Darkness, but they say play on. If this were to be tied going in after stoppage time, we'd go straight to PKs as Captain Carnage and Slash fighting for it. No foul. Carnage, though, a heavy touch. The keeper, Berrigan, comes out. Slash a chance for a second as Captain Carnage gets knocked down by the goalie, and then Berrigan makes the save. And I think we're going to get a penalty for the push on Carnage. Maybe. I might be wrong here, but there was clearly Berrigan pushed Carnage to get out of his way, come back and made the save, and now there's another conversation, and I think we're going to see a penalty kick. We've got another yellow card. It's on Berrigan.
For kicking the ball after? I mean, that wouldn't serve his own purposes very well.
Or for the foul on Carnage, because they are giving a penalty kick for that situation.
Oh, this is going to be the dagger.
Could be. Let's not assume a made penalty kick, although we've already seen, 14 penalty kicks today, and they're 13-14, as we'll see another sub, and Ryan Nikolai comes back on. This could be the game, though, as Captain Carnage, chance to add to this total, become the third goal scorer of the day for Army of Darkness here in the 88th minute. The whistle blows, and Carnage sends the keeper the wrong way, and it's 4-2.
Oh, that might be good night, Irene.
Yeah, it was a nice job by Berrigan to come out and cleanly tackle Captain Carnage to deny the chance, but then Slash followed it up. And while Slash was trying to get the ball in, Carnage was two-hand pushed by Berrigan, and they called the foul on the keeper.
Which truthfully was kind of unnecessary. I guess, I mean, did he have to push him out of his way to get to the ball? Because he made the save.
Well, he pushed him down and then went back and made the save. And I wonder if Berrigan was on, or if Carnage was onside and potentially trying to set him up as a passing option. And
didn't need to do it.
Yeah, kind of a pass interference play where even it wasn't necessary, but it results in the foul and the penalty. There's a good play by O'Callahan.
How about it?
Away days, if they're going to make the two-goal comeback, they need a goal shortly. They're going to have some minutes of stoppage, but don't know how many. As Colmanero to the back post looking for Evans, headed away. Waits now with it. Good job to deke the defender, but too heavy on the touch, and it'll go just over the goal line.
Oh, good to see him leaving it out on the field. Good effort from both these sides.
Going to see the Impaler check on. I think this might be the first time we've seen the Impaler, so he'll come on late in the contest. Coming off is the Nightmare.
Nightmare had a good game.
Yeah. Not involved in the scoring, but still fun to watch. Really, I think most of these Army of Darkness players have had a good game. It's here's Slash, a chance to add to the lead.
And look at the numbers. Oh, here he is,
the
too.
Impaler, first touch of the game, 1v1 with the keeper, right-footed shot, a big save by Berrigan.
That was your chance, the Impaler.
Gets it right back on the near side. The Impaler, low cross, knocked away. Ball comes all the way through for Waits, and he'll leave it for Berrigan. Yeah, these are the – I mean, this game is 4-2 right now. It felt like a much closer game. But if you add even a fifth, that's one of those where you look at the final score, and it doesn't indicate just how close this final was.
Well, it would have been a dreamy entrance for the bench, you know, the substitute.
Yeah, that's kind of what you dream about, right? You get that come on, and you have a great chance, and just couldn't quite put it.
Clearly, guys, I'm a starting forward. Been on the field for 30 seconds and scored a goal, but not to be.
We're going to see more substitutions, and Sinister Sick Rick will check on for – I didn't see a player come off.
Yeah, this is a victory lap for Army of Darkness now.
Up 4-2, up a man. That second yellow card on Plesser Morrissey, and obviously we don't know what was said. I mean, the referee could be 100% right. That foul, even we'd like to see a replay. It was a little bit hard to tell. But that second yellow card really changed the dynamic of this game. Away Days was pressuring, creating chances, and then all of a sudden, down a man, you get the penalty kick goal and almost had a fifth. It certainly has changed the dynamic in a huge way.
Yeah, and the call looked close. I mean, here, you know, Plesser Maurice gets his second yellow and red, but he was convinced that it was going to be a free kick at a pretty dangerous place for Away Days. So
and claimed that he was, I mean, it looked like he was hit in the face, but claimed he was bleeding as well.
Yeah.
Here's Carnage, who was able to score the goal, as it looks like Army of Darkness is going to get that revenge for a 3-1 loss in the championship game, just out of the reach there of Akira El Cruel, as the Army of Darkness sensing that victory is coming, looking for an additional goal, and they have officially won it. The Army of Darkness able to repeat a similar story to what the Toffee Club / Away Days did in the spring. They weren't able to have the upper hand in the regular season, but come back and win by multiple goals in the championship game. Army of Darkness, your Greater Portland Soccer District over 30 Division I champs, a 4-2 victory over Away Days in what was a really cagey but entertaining championship game, Ben.
Cagey is right. Very entertaining, hard-fought battle. The second yellow and red and sending off of Plesser Maurice definitely changed the dynamic. Not to say Away Days was going to get through. The Darkness defense all year long was stout. You know, top-class showcase matchup here and a fitting end to the season.
Yeah, Army of Darkness with goals from Toe Tag, Slash, and Captain Carnage. Away Day with goals from Peter Erdahl. And as I looked down at my notes, Austin Colmanero, the own goal gave Army of Darkness a 3-2 lead, but in the end they were able to tack on a fourth, which really feels good. You never want an own goal to be the total difference. An entertaining game between these two teams who have seen each other a lot, 3 times in both the spring and the fall, and I'm sure they'll continue to see each other, and hopefully even if some of these players age out, it'll be a rivalry they can take into the over 40 division. We hope you enjoyed this matchup, as we'll stay alive for a little bit longer as the Army of Darkness will get their trophy and maybe sacrifice it to the evil spirits. I don't know what they'll do with it. But either way, a really enjoyable championship match. Saw the Toffee Club win 3-1 in the spring, a 4-2 victory for Army of Darkness here in the fall. And it feels like, obviously we don't know the other teams that well at the over 30 level, that these two teams are likely to meet quite a few more times as the Army of Darkness finally gets to touch their trophy.
There's no doubt about it. 2 heavyweights in this division, and another classic in the books. The celebration, the trophy, the photographs, and the oversized T-shirt.
Well, that will do it for our production. For my partner, Ben Efran, for myself, Seth Orensky, we hope you enjoyed watching this Oregon Sports Beat production. Remember, you can watch it on replay on YouTube. That'll do it from Gladstone High School. Army of Darkness 4, away days 2 here in the Greater Portland Soccer District over 30 Division I Championship.